Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new episode. My name is T and we are talking scary movies. I appreciate you tuning in for this brand new review here. Folks, every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to have a new interview, a new opinion piece, or some horror news for you to check out. But throughout the week, I am dropping reviews on everything in the world of horror, including movies, TV shows, games, books, whatever I'm checking out here. And you don't want to miss any of that. The best way to stay on top of everything that I'm dropping for my channels to get subscribed to my link tree. And you can do that by going to linktr.ee/T scary movie. If you get subscribed to my link tree, that's going to give you access to the YouTube page for the video versions of the show, to your favorite podcasting platforms for the audio only versions of the show, to my Letterboxd page for my written reviews and my movie rankings, to my TikTok page for my short horror content including movie news and movie premieres, to my Twitch page for my horror gaming, which will include The Thing for PlayStation 2 and Rewind or Die, and finally to my Fangoria shop page where you can enjoy my 20% off discount anything in the Fangoria shop, including the physical magazine for the yearly subscription. Take advantage of that, y'all. Hit that subscribe button, because the more followers I get, the more content I can put out for all of you, and I can do more of these fun giveaways. Last month I gave away a Tall Man Funko Pop, and this month I am giving away a little golden book of A is for Alien. This bad boy here was in limited edition here when it came out a few months ago here, and I got an extra copy to give to all of you. To qualify, all you have to do is comment on any of the videos I put in the month of August for a chance to win. And at the end of the month, I'm going to draw a winner. We're going to find out who gets the book. So stay tuned. Got a question for you at the end of the episode to answer here. Chance to win. A is for Alien. But what are we talking about here tonight? Folks, we're in the second half of the year. We got so much great horror coming out, and we're here to talk about Neon's latest release here, hot off the heels of Longlegs being a big success back in July. Folks, we are here tonight talking Cuckoo. That is right. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right on into things. If you haven't seen the trailer for Cuckoo before, this tells the story of a young girl who, after the recent passing of her mom, goes and stays with her father in the German Alps at a new lodge that he is helping to design. But when she begins to work for the lodge owner, she finds out that something is amiss, and it's going to put herself and the rest of her family in danger the longer that they stay. And that's Cuckoo, y'all. You know, this is a movie that I've talked about here before that I've avoided a lot of the marketing for it. Typically, I am not the guy who tries to avoid like any of the trailers, like spoilers that are coming out before movies are released. But every now and then I decide that, you know what, this is a movie that I kind of got to go into blind at this point so I can just be as surprised as humanly possible. I did that with Longlegs last month, and I'm doing that here with Cuckoo this month as well too. You know, for Longlegs, I might have saw one in theaters, and I feel like I closed my eyes for it, try to block it all out. But with Cuckoo, besides the trailer that they've shown on TV, I have not engaged with it at all. And I knew I was going to see it. I absolutely knew I was going to see it. You got Dan Stevens in there, you got Hunter Schafer in there, two actors that I'm a big fan of, and honestly, put those two in a horror movie, of course I'm in for it. So there was never any chance that I wasn't going to see it, but I have avoided the marketing for it. Now, the one thing I'm going to say about that is, if you're like me and you have managed to bypass any of the trailers that have been out for it, any of the spoilers that are out there for it, it won't really wreck the film, honestly. You know, I know there's a lot of you out there that can watch as many spoilers and listen and read as many spoilers as you can, and it doesn't take anything away from the movie itself. But for those y'all that does affect it, let me put you at ease here. They're not really giving away much in the trailers to the actual story of what's going on. So that's one of the saving graces here. Now, very strong cast that we have. Again, Dan Stevens, who has popped up in two other great films this year. We're talking Abigail and Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. And I love the fact that no matter where he pops up, every role is so different. I think a lot of you would probably agree that Dan Stevens is pretty synonymous with horror at this point. Whether it's this, whether it's Abigail, The Rental, The Guest, the guy has a lot of horror credits to his name and a lot of really good ones as well too. And I love love the fact that he's willing to commit to whatever role that he's doing. It doesn't matter how ludicrous it's honestly going to be. The man just puts his entire heart in it, and we get such different performances every single time a new role comes out. And his role in this film here as the person that's running the lodge that Hunter Schafer's character Gretchen and her family are all like living at, like it's such a different role from the cop that he played in Abigail, and you know, the pilot that he was playing in Godzilla X Kong, to be in that many films and not to see like the same archetype in each one. Great job in this one. And like he is in a lot of his roles, very unsettling as well too. Like there's part of you that wants to hug him and just love the fact that he's there and feel safe, but the other part of you knows that you shouldn't trust this guy, and you can't put your finger on exactly why that is, but you know that you shouldn't. Hunter Schafer, on the other hand here, you know, I've mentioned this one before, but I love the fact that all of these great actors from Euphoria are really going out and making a name for themselves in the film industry. You know, whether it's Hunter Schafer, whether it's Zendaya, Jacob Elordi, Sydney Sweeney, all these folks are out there picking some great roles in a lot of films and getting a lot of critical acclaim from that. And I feel that's not something we get too commonly from a complete cast in a TV show, honestly. Like some of them end up not doing much, but I feel like the main players from Euphoria are going out there and doing these amazing things. And Hunter Schafer, she fits the role of Gretchen so perfect. This girl who is in so much pain from the loss of her mother. She doesn't feel close to her father or this new family that she's now a part of as well too. She feels ostracized. She feels very much like she's not a part of this family. Later on in the film, when she really has to become the protector and take care of all of them because she's begrudgingly living with them right now, it's a very tense environment for her to be in. And you know, the rest of her family, Martin Chokas, who plays her father, Luis, and Jessica Henwick, who plays her new stepmother, Beth. I feel that Martin Chokas, all the other roles that we've seen him in, he still comes with that commanding presence to where you're very much worried about like whether he's playing like a good guy or a bad guy. And think about some of the other stuff that he's been in recently, like going through these ones here, y'all. The Equalizer, Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. He was in the amazing Spider-Man 2, Dreamhouse, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, Kingdom of Heaven, Aeon Flux, The Bourne Supremacy, Triple X, Return of the King. My man has been in so much. But Jessica Henwick, I feel, gets completely wasted in this movie. And I'm a big fan of her, honestly. If you haven't seen, you know, Iron Fist or The Matrix is it Resurrections? What was the last one that came out, y'all? Because I'm looking at it right now. Resurrections. It is The Matrix Resurrections. Or The Gray Man or Glass Onion. She is a character actor that I think does so great with even the smallest of roles, but I feel like the script here just doesn't really serve her. You know, the story as it gets in deeper and we start finding the mystery of what's happening at this lodge with these mysterious creatures, you would think that her role would grow a little bit. And given the cliches that we see in a lot of films talking about like shattered and broken families and connecting with new families, it would make sense that she would have a bigger role later on in the film. But she doesn't, and she kind of just disappears, and we don't really get much of a resolution with her character. And that's probably one of the biggest things about this film that really did irk me for a film that's honestly not too bad. Now, with this, I feel that Cuckoo is evoking a lot of other films, one especially really recently, and then one that's going to stand out like a sore thumb to you if you see it. Now, the more recent one is The Watchers, the one that was done by Ishara Knight Shyamalan earlier this year about the group of strangers who end up in the woods and there's creatures out there and they have to keep staring. And I talked about in that film, one of the good things about it was the creature design, and I enjoyed the story of what it was, but it still felt very lacking. And Cuckoo has a lot in common with the story of The Watchers. And I don't want to say too much because that's going to put too many spoilers out there. But what I will say is that if you went and saw that movie earlier this year, it's going to be hard to really shake that you're not just seeing a better version of that film, honestly, because that's really where the similarities lie at. And of course, the fact that they're up in the mountains, they're very much secluded, and there's some kind of supernatural presence that's attacking Hunter Schafer's character, Gretchen, and her family at this lodge. you're gonna obviously do a little thinking of The Shining. And there's a few shots in the film that seem very much to invoke or pay homage to what we've seen in The Shining as well. And y'all know me, I've talked about it before. I'm not a fan of that film, honestly. I like the miniseries a lot, but I'm not a fan of Stanley Kubrick's film. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's just not for me. It doesn't work for me at all, honestly. And I kind of like that this evoked that a little bit, because to me it's a better version of that movie almost, you know. Character going to this lodge and now all of a sudden being in a position where they're kind of running things, and things kind of get more hectic and they start getting driven madder and there's a possibility that their family might be killed, whether it's by them or whether it's by someone else, and there's this supernatural entity that's kind of controlling everything. All of that invokes The Shining for sure, and it's going to be really hard to shake that when you watch this. That being said, unlike The Shining, the danger really is in an actual creature that's, you know, roaming through the woods around this lodge. And I did enjoy the creature design because it makes it a little bit more tangible for, you know, the good characters to be able to defend themselves and fight against whatever this thing is. The flip of it, though, is that we don't really get enough of it in the movie to really build up those scares. Like, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the one to where Gretchen's riding on her bike and seeing the shadow and seeing the thing behind her, and that's one of the most effective scares in the film, but nothing really ever like kind of meets the same level that sets up. Like, there's a sense of unease throughout the film for sure. You know something nefarious is going on, but nothing really reaches the heights of that one kind of chase sequence that happens earlier on in the film. And I think that's ultimately where the bigger problem lies with this movie, because I compared it to The Watchers, and one of the things I talked about with The Watchers is the fact that we don't really get as much interaction with the creatures as we probably should to really like be scaring us more, or at least have a better understanding or idea of what they are and what they do. And the same thing happens here in Cuckoo, unfortunately, to where we're given bits and pieces, but so much of it is left for the audience to fill in those blanks themselves. And unfortunately, there's just too many questions for us to really do that. And I think that's probably the biggest problem here with Tillman Singer's script here, is that there are a lot of questions raised by the time the credits roll and not enough answers that are truly given. The characters in it, again, are phenomenal. Gretchen and Herr Koenig, fantastic. And Henry, really good as well too. But outside of that, the film just doesn't do a good enough job of giving you the answers and information you need to walk out feeling satisfied with what you've seen and be able to fill in those blanks. You're left lacking, unfortunately. It's still one of the more effective horror films of the year for sure. Like, you can't beat great acting combined with really cool creature design, but at the same time, the story itself could be better, because we're talking about, again, a broken family and about Gretchen trying her, like, not really trying her best at the beginning, but ultimately becoming, you know, the person that she really should be, caring after this new family that she has no kind of tie to at all. And that part does kind of work out, but ultimately, again, some of these relationships get set up and there's never any going back to them. We don't revisit that a lot. Some of these payoffs just really don't come through, unfortunately. Either way, though, it's still an effective horror film. I think this is going to be one that kind of just sinks away, though, and won't be one that's going to end up on the top 10 of anybody's list. But again, likes are subjective, right? So tell me in the comment section, folks, for a chance to win A is for Alien. I want to know, out of the cast of Euphoria, who's going out and making themselves a big film career right now, who do you personally like? Are you a Zendaya fan? Were you a big fan of Angus Cloud, Jacob Elordi, Hunter Schafer, Sydney Sweeney? Who do you like from Euphoria? Tell me in the comments section to be entered for a chance to win A is for Alien. And hit that subscribe button, folks, because I got more great reviews coming for you. We're going to be talking Alien Romulus, Humane, All My Friends Are Dead, and we're still cracking into season 1 of Mayfair Witches, and I'm going back and hitting the rest of the episodes of season 1 of Interview with the Vampire. So you don't want to miss out on that. Hit subscribe. But that's it tonight, y'all. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared. Boy here is a big fan of Fangoria. So, if you want to check out the world's best horror magazine that's out there, get a chance to get yourself your own subscription, which I just got my first one back in 2022, and I don't regret it for a second. But if you want your own Fangoria subscription, or you like the Fangoria merchandise, then head over to the Fangoria shop and use my link if you want to save yourself some money, folks. That's an easy one to remember. Just go to shop.fangoria.com/axdew. Again, that's shop.fangoria.com/axdew, or use my specific code AXDEW at checkout. You can save 20% off your entire order, and that implies 2 subscription and one-time orders as well. You don't want to miss out, folks, because with the magnitude of horror movies we've had released in the last few years, and with what we have on the horizon, Fangoria is going to be your #1 source for all that great, juicy, bloody information in the world of horror. So again, head to shop.fangoria.com. Hey there, folks! Thanks for tuning in to T-Watch This Scary Movie. I appreciate you checking out another review or movie news, whether we're talking movies, TV shows, books, or games, whatever, it's all scary. Remember, you can check out new episodes every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the YouTube page for video. That's youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. Again, youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. And you can check out the audio version on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Just search T Watch the Scary Movie or TWASM. Don't forget, my name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.